Welcome and good morning. Today we're going to be doing an all-staff meeting, which means a couple different things. One, the mechanics are going to join us this morning for most of the meeting. And also, it's a little bit of a different focus. So this is just to be able to increase our communication of not just what's happening in daily operations, but what's happening in the company, what's happening in the organization, what might be new in your benefits. And so this is just an opportunity quarterly to communicate about different things outside of daily operations. So that's what the intent of the all-staff meetings are. If you can't hear, feel free to come. There's still plenty of space over here. Even if you're going to stand in the back so you guys can hear over here. So feel free to come all the way in. Come all the way in. Come all the way in. They're telling me, okay, here. They're telling me all in. Come all the way in so you guys can hear. There's plenty of space. There's plenty of space over here to stand too. Come on in. Okay. And Brett, if you could just help encourage people to come in when they check in. Okay. So that's the intent of the all-staff meetings. The next thing I would like to try to do, can everyone hear me okay now? Okay. All right. Is to do a core value focus. I know that when you do the handbook review with me, which everyone has done at least once, if you're brand new, you'll be doing with me soon. But one of the things we talk about is what is NewTrax's core values. And one of our very first ones, one of our top core values, is safety, which I'm hoping that comes across in our day today in our operations. This is the safety of riders, employees, and our community at large. And how we do that is we have our own maintenance shop on property with our own team of mechanics who takes care of our vehicles when things come up, so we try to keep the vehicles safe for you. We have a safety committee who works on safety issues that arise, and they all talk together as how can we address those, and it's made up of mechanics, drivers, the safety coordinator, some of our admin team, and they all come together to how can we address safety issues and concerns that come up. We also try to do daily risk management, and we also have our wonderful trainer, Minnie, who trains us consistently on how to do wheelchairs, how to operate things on the vehicle, how to do bloodborne pathogens. So we're always talking about different safety issues. So that is a high priority here at NewTrax. So right now, I am actually going to turn it over to Scott, and he is going to share a few meaningful stories and shout-outs for us.
Morning, everybody. Who's got a full belly like I do from the weekend? Oh my gosh. Say, every so often we wish to acknowledge drivers when we get emails from them on the community work that we do. So I've got several pages here that we're going to quick go through, just some stories that were out there. And it is in much appreciation that we share these stories because of the work that our community drivers do out there. Our raw drivers do great work too, but right now this is about community. So this first one is about Amy. Amy's one of our newer drivers, and this came from Phil at Miller's Landing Senior Living. I wanted to let you know that your driver Amy went above and beyond on our trip on Tuesday. She deserves some praise. We would love to have her again. This next one goes back to December. I guess we've kind of let these fall through the cracks here. But this is for Scott Ecker and Jim Davis. You did some light tours. Scott, I just wanted to reach out and give you kudos to both the drivers this week, Monday and Tuesday night. You took us on the light drive. We had Jim for the Monday night drive and Scott on Tuesday, and they were both wonderful with our memory care residents, very attentive, played Christmas music the whole drive. I'm not sure who the driver was. She's repeating herself, but it was you, Scott. You went with their assisted living, and they said the driver was great and they had the best time. The next one is for Bruce. Bruce has got a couple of them here. Bruce is trying to kiss up a little bit. But this was from Valley Outreach, one of our food program partners. I just wanted to give Bruce a shout out. He was wonderful to work with yesterday. He did a great job and asked questions that indicated he is excited to do this work. That was from Grace at Valley Outreach. This one came from, I gotta think here. Oh, Episcopal Homes. I am grateful for Bruce and our other drivers that take such great care of the residents at all of the Episcopal Homes locations that we serve. Nice job. Now Trevor's not here, but Episcopal Homes is a very complicated, as you know, very detailed type of organization that we work with. So I want to give a kudo to Trevor, who takes the extra steps to make sure that a somewhat complicated itinerary is written in such a way to help our drivers out and to help them understand what is needed each and every week. So that was my thank you to Trevor. I just, if you see Trevor, let him know he's appreciated with all the paperwork and things that he does for the community. Okay, this last one is kind of funny. This came from a rider from Episcopal Homes. And she's written a couple times, but this particular one, again, is about Bruce. All right? Oh, this is the second letter I'm writing about the exceptional service we received from your staff. He handled a couple of sticky problems with a sense of humor and positive energy that sets the standard. And she used this acronym, 3 letters, KMA. Well, I've used KMA other times in life, and it doesn't stand for what she meant. But it's keep my aplomb. Aplomb. Has anyone heard of that before? APLOMB. So keep in mind, she's elderly. This is some old school thinking here. She says the bus was packed with both people and carts, which he handled deftly, always with a smile, no matter the glitch. Keep him coming back to Episcopal. We're lucky to have him, as are you. Now, the definition of aplomb, because I had to look it up. To maintain one's composure, self-possession, and confidence, especially in a challenging or stressful situation. It implies staying calm, collected, and in control, even when facing difficulties. Well, that must have been quite the ride you had that day. But thank you, Bruce, and our other drivers. Great job.
Thank you, Scott. And now I'm going to turn it over to Patty, who's got some introductions and other announcements.
Good morning, everyone. Yes, one new driver this month. We have Akina. She took over 291, so everybody welcome her. Welcome. And then we have some anniversaries. We have Dave Wolf, 1-year anniversary. Thanks for everything you've done for us. And the other one is Lori. Where is Lori? Thank you, Lori. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 293. David's kind of both. He does both routes and community for us. And then we have a couple other anniversaries. Scott Roach, 2 years. Thank you, Scott Roach. He does a lot of work and routes. He does a fantastic job. Never any complaints. So thank you, Scott. And Jim Davis, 3 years. He's our full-time co-driver. He does a lot. Change is huge when it comes to full-time sub-drivers and sub-drivers. So I just want to give a shout out to all of our sub-drivers and full-time drivers that do a lot of changing things for me that is very much appreciated. So thank you. So now I'm going to talk about stuff that's not so fun, because that's my job, right? Buses, your bus, keeping them clean. We have inspections coming in May. And I know those sub buses aren't the cleanest. And it's, in that world, because so many different people go in and out of those buses. If anybody wants more time to get up to 40 hours or part-timers to get more hours and want to do a little cleaning for us, would be wonderful. Come and see me. We will give you time to do that if you're interested. Also, if you get into a bus, even like the full-time drivers, please, please keep them the way that you found them. Tie-downs on the floor. We cannot have tie-downs on the floor. It's a big safety hazard, so all the buses should have places for you to put those tie-downs. I do not want to hear about tie-downs being in the aisles. So please pick that up. That is part of the job, is making sure those tie-downs aren't on the floor. Thank you. And then, I think that was it, cleaning buses, tie-downs. Oh, and also, we're doing some budgeting, and I know things are gonna be a little bit different this year, so please go by your window work times. If it says 9:45 to clock in, please wait till that time and not 8:15 or 8:30. And if you feel that you need more time, come talk to us, because we're really, we need to know. I mean, if there's a route that needs, because Mike put some extra people on that route and now it needs to start earlier, please come and let me know so I can put that on window work. But that window work is giving you 15 minutes, supposedly, to do your pre-trip. So if it says 9:45, you don't need to come in at 9:30 for those community runs. 9:45 should be enough time, but if you don't think that you have enough time, please come and talk to us. And we will definitely get you more time. So, because when we see, I see 9:15 starting time and then someone's punching in at 8:15, I'm kind of wondering, okay, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe you're coming in for some training or you need to get gas or something like that. Just let me know. And so then, everyone's not wondering. So everyone, does that make sense? So we factor in that 15 minutes for your pre-trip. But sometimes those routes, I don't always know that your time's changed. So please let me know so we can get that in there correctly for the full-time drivers as well, so they have plenty of time to start that route as well. And most routes should not be leaving here till 9:45, so you shouldn't be clocking in until 9:40 for those afternoon routes, except for if there's a few that are starting early.
12:45, keep saying 9:45.
I mean 12:45, sorry, thank you. Yeah, I ate a lot too yesterday, my brain is mush from food. So that's all I have for you, thank you guys. I will turn it over to
All right, thank you, Patty. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're actually gonna do a benefit highlights. It's something else I try to do in an all-staff meeting. And what I'm gonna do today is Angie and Winnie are passing out the overall NewTrax benefits. And the reason why I'm passing that out today is there's been a lot of changes in the last year to our benefits. So I want to make sure that everyone knows what is available to you, and this is your chance to ask me questions about it if you have it. I am going to wait just a second to kind of make sure everybody gets one, and then I'm going to briefly go over this, because I know some of you are not interested at all, and some of you are very interested. So I'm going to try to go as quickly as I can through this, but I want to make sure you guys all know the overview of what's available to you. The reminder that if you are full-time, you do have medical, dental, vision, long-term disability, and life insurance. And you also have a leave bank that's available to you. The leave bank is if you have PTO that is carrying over and it's too much, any extra PTO that can't go into your bank will go into your leave bank, which is for FMLA purposes, which is Family Medical Leave Act purposes, whether it's for yourself or someone else. So, if you have any questions about that, of course you can come and see and we can chat about that. The first thing I want everyone to see, so that's for our full-time employees, is there is a lot of things available to all employees. So whether you're part-time or whether you're full-time, there are benefits available to you. One, you hear me stress multiple times a year, is the Employee Assistance Program. This is something that NewTrax pays for, that's available to everyone, and we did change what company was available to all employees, so this is a new number. If you had an old sheet, this is a new number. This one is quite excellent, and it helps with whatever things you're looking for. If you're having problems in a relationship, you're having trouble balancing work-life balance, or you want to get help with a will, or you've got a like another legal matter that you want to check in on. There's free legal services. There's up to 5 counseling sessions per year that are free. You call into this one number, and whether it's childcare, whether it's I need help being a grandparent, whatever the thing is, you call in, and then it's anonymous. Nutrex has no idea who uses it. We just pay for the service. So please take advantage of it. It's for you. You call, and then they will direct you to who you need to go to. There's all kinds of resources that they can get you connected to. So that is the Employee Assistance Program. The next one is Working Advantage. I try to make sure before the month begins, sometimes right as the month begins, on for the key board and also on the bulletin board in the break room, is the steps to do this and also what some of their monthly highlights are. It's a discount program, and it's discounts on things like hotels, or if you want to go to Florida and go to Universal, there's discounts. Or if you want to stay here and go to a live show, like a concert or a performance, there's discounts that are available to you. I've used it a lot in the past for Mother's Day gifts, because it's something I would do anyway, and I'm getting 25 to 35% off. So just thinking about that as you go to restaurants or have gifts you want to purchase, just check there, because you might actually get some great discounts. So that is free and available to everyone. There's also paid time off for full-time and part-time drivers. So part-time drivers, make sure, or part-time employees, please make sure you take advantage of that. It starts the very first day you work. It's by hours. How many hours you work is how much PTO you earn. And if you notice at full-time, it starts at a accrual rate of 0.0577. And this changes at different anniversary points, which is in your handbook. If you have questions about that, please feel free to come see me. Part-time, your accrual rate is 0.038. And it does point you to which handbook sections it is in, if you'd like to take a look at that. Holiday pay for full-time employees, there are 8 paid holidays and 2 floating holidays. The floating holidays are given on January 1st and July 1st. And you will see that in your paycheck stub. If you have any questions about that, you can see myself or Angie. Both of us can help you with that. And also for part-time employees, you get floating holiday hours. So it's a little bit different, but you do get hours January 1st and July 1st. And you will see that separated on your paycheck as well. Okay, so that's paid time off and holiday pay. If you flip over, this is something that's been new and changed. We used to have just a gym that we had access to, that we kind of, Nutrex paid for membership for everyone. But now this is a change so that you can go to whatever gym or fitness health program that you would like to go to, and we're gonna help reimburse you for that membership. It's pretty simple. You basically fill out a form that says where your membership is, and that it's at least $15 or whatever the cost is, because we can reimburse you up to $15 per month, and we actually take a look at that quarterly to reimburse you, and it goes right into your check. It's a pretty easy system that Angie and I help run, so again, if you have questions, feel free to come and see us. And it could be the YMCA, it could be Planet Fitness, it could be Orange Theory, it could be a yoga studio, Pilates. If you have something else, I know there's even cardio drumming, there's all kinds of random things. So feel free to come and ask us. It's a great thing that you can choose what you want, and then we will help reimburse you for that. Okay? And also the 403B retirement. We want to make sure that everyone knows that you all, doesn't matter if you're part-time or full-time, you can set that up. You can set it up. It's already, we have an account kind of like there for you. You don't have to pay to set that up. It's there and available to you. And you can start contributing. If you would like the matching, that's where there's a little bit of a requirement. So the matching starts at least 1,000 hours or 1 year of service. So that's when you're eligible. Because I know part-time employees, your 1,000 hours might look different, but if you have a year of service, then you are eligible for the matching. And the matching did go up recently. It's $40 per pay period. $40 per pay period. So that's $80 per month that new tracks can contribute. So we're matching. So that means if you put in $5, new tracks will put in $5. If you put in 10, we'll put in 10. And that's per pay period. So I wanted to make sure you guys all know that's available to you and that it was increased. The important note about that, it doesn't automatically happen. So if you were contributing $30 before when that's when the match was, you need to go into your account and change it to 40 if you want to increase it. So just make sure everyone knows that. It doesn't automatically change. You have to choose to want to change that. That's a very brief overview of our benefits for all employees and full-time, part-time. Any questions on those benefits? Fantastic. If you do, again, come see myself or Angie. We'd be happy to help you with those. So thanks for letting me go over that because there was quite a few changes this year. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to mention some company-wide events that are happening. We're going to give you more details soon, but there's going to be a spring event, kind of like we went to running ACES in the fall. There's going to be a spring event May 15th. If you want to kind of do a save the date, so May 15th, I believe that's a Thursday, if I'm remembering correctly. And that will be in the evening. There's also a Many Faces event tomorrow. And I believe this flyer is in 2 different places, is that correct, maybe? Yeah. So there is a Many Faces event. That is an organization that we are partnered with. And this one is First Person Floral Sits in Installation at White Bear Arts. And it's about, you can read it more, but it's about immigrants who have been willing to share their story and about living in Minnesota. So if you're interested in that event tomorrow night, you're welcome to look at this flyer. They're also posted
On the door leading to the break room. So
on the door leading to the break room. Perfect, thank you, Angie. So that event is happening. We also want to make sure you do a save the date for July 20th. This is the company picnic. It's on Sunday and your families are invited. So we'll be giving you more details, but want to give you a save the date of Sunday, July 20th. Make sure everybody knows that. They're all welcome to come and bring your families. Then there is also a small group lunch. How many of you guys participated in that last time? Okay, quite a few people did. The small group lunch is an opportunity for you to come have lunch. New Tracks is paying for lunch. We're paying for your time to come sit and enjoy lunch together for an hour. And you get to hang out with your coworkers and just learn more about each other and just hang out. So it was a wonderful opportunity. Everyone had a great time. Every group who passed by was laughing and giggling. And that is happening on May 12th. On May 12th, there's a sign-up sheet. Is it in front of dispatch? In front of dispatch, there's a sign-up sheet for that. So please jot your name down if you would like to attend. And also wanted to tell you there is a morale committee meeting today. Now the morale committee, what we do is all kinds of things. We help to plan the Christmas or the holiday party, the company picnic, we do the fall and spring events, and we also do things like milestone anniversaries, whatever we can do to continue to invest in our team and to show appreciation and make sure you guys get recognized for your accomplishments. That's kind of what the morale committee does. And we need you. So if you're interested in checking it out, we're actually having a meeting today after the meeting at 11:30. So if anyone's interested, it is paid time. So feel free to come and join us, check it out, see if it's something you might be interested in. We definitely need more voices, so we'd love to have you there. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about, so I'm sure you're tired of hearing my voice, is kind of talking about our results section. Most or many of you, it's kind of like our 6-month check-in to let you know how it's going. How many of you guys have already participated or heard about or participated in the annual employee check-in? Okay, quite a few of you. Thank you so much. What that is, you guys get reviewed every December. We tell you about your job performance, what's going well, maybe what improvements that need to be made. It's a great time for open communication about different problems or issues. What we're doing is doing the reverse of you guys once a year get a chance to review new tracks, and you get to tell us, how are we doing? How's your supervisor doing? And there's a team of us, it's myself and Angie and Trevor, who do those annual employee reviews. And it's generally around your anniversary, sometimes like November, and I think June. We have so many anniversaries that we have to split it up a little bit. But we do those, and what we do is it is paid time. It is a chance for you to come tell us any problems, concerns, or just shout outs about new tracks. And we have this spreadsheet. Your name, the date, all that stuff does not go on the spreadsheet. It goes onto an Excel spreadsheet, and it gets reviewed quarterly by myself. And then I kind of pull out themes and highlights of things I feel like we need to look at and work on, especially things that are consistently coming up. And then we talk about that quarterly as a team and like what improvements can we make, what needs to be done, those types of things. And our goal is yearly, this will be in July, in our July meeting, or June or July meeting, we will present it to the team of here's some things we saw over the course of the year, and here's some of the things that we're doing. But just so you know, you really do make an influence on things. Just here's a couple of things that have already happened based off of those. One is now communication is in one place. If you guys noticed recently, we made a change that all of your schedule things come through when to work. If there's any changes to your actual schedule, that goes through when to work. Any other communications like announcements, weekly communications, like a closure or something like that is all coming through Paylocity. It's all coming through Paylocity. So we separated those so it's not confusing of which is coming from where. That was from feedback from you all. And it was very helpful to us, and we already made that change. So thank you for that. And also, I think there's handrails now in the mezzanine. We had several people tell us about that, so we went ahead and made that safety change. So if you ever go upstairs towards Trevor's area, you notice there's a handrail now. Also, the bus numbers on our new buses are going to be on the side of the new buses, so that passengers and people at the sites can actually see the numbers. That was feedback from you all. So thank you so much for that, and continue to give us these. There will be other things that we'll be chatting about and taking care of, but wanted to go ahead and highlight some of those things they were already able to do. So thank you for that, and just wanted to tell you a little bit more about that so you know what it is as it comes up on your when to work schedule. All right, any other questions for me at this moment? Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn it over to Mike Greenbaum to address some of what I feel like have heard, and a number of us have heard about budget concerns.
Good morning, everyone. Real quickly, the bus numbers, not only are they being installed in the new buses, but we're retroactively putting bus numbers on the side of all our existing buses too. But before we get into the important stuff, how about our new IT coordinator sitting here, stepping in and taking care of IT? And not only that is because he had to step in there, it took 3 of us to man the grill that Mike usually does alone. So how about that, just so they can do it all. So thanks, Mike. Real quickly, we'll have a little time to answer any other questions too, but I know we addressed this a meeting or two ago. We're hearing so many things legislatively and funding for disability services, both federally and statewide. And very little is known for sure at this point. What we know is that in the governor's current budget, on a more statewide basis, he has pinpointed decreases in funding for long-term care, which is the area that our funding comes from. So he has been very supportive historically for these type of services, but there's proposed decreases in these. So we're aware of it, nothing's been passed yet. In the current legislation, they're looking at decreasing what they call the utilization rate, or the percentage of increase based on how many people are gone. So that's way in the weeds, something that we don't know a lot about now, other than we need to start preparing from a budgetary standpoint with the realism that there are going to be cuts to our partner organizations. Secondary is on a federal basis, and the talk about what's going to happen with Medicaid funding, which is how our partners are funded. It's 50% federal, 50% state, and the potential of that coming to the states in a different way. Again, still nothing certain, but just as we're preparing our budget that starts July 1st, we need to do it in a manner that we need to be realistic regarding the future funding levels of the programs we support. Which means what we can do is try to work on the edges as much as we can to save money, be as efficient as we can, and be as smart as we can with what we're doing organizationally. And we all play a role in that. It means clocking in at the time you're scheduled to clock in and not 15, 20 minutes before. It's when we're fueling up, just doing that efficiently. We're not needing to make drastic steps. Organizationally, we're in a very strong and solid financial position. I don't want anyone to be panicked or concerned. We just want to make sure we're proactive and not reactive to whatever funding cuts potentially come. We've been able to do pretty significant wage increases at the end of the last 3-4 years in baseline increases. Our full intent is to continue to have increases. They're probably not going to be to the same extent that they have been the last 2 or 3 years. Okay, just want people to be prepared for that. Again, the big picture is we are very solid financially. Happy to go into that deeper with anyone that wants to look deeper at what our financial situation is. We're going to be smart and efficient in the way we manage our finances, and it's an organization-wide thing. Please think about those things in how we clock in, how we clock out, how we're doing our little different things on a daily basis, so we can all be in this together. Because when we are milking the clock, it's not coming, there's no owners of new tracks that money is coming from. What it does, it impacts the raises we're able to do. So you're impacting the person on the right of you and the left of you, okay? That's the impact that you have, is what we can do at the end of the year for increases at the end of the year. We've done a great job over the last 18 months of managing our work comp. Another huge expense organizationally. We're looking for a big decrease in that this year because our work comp cases have gone way down. Those are the type of things that we can help manage on a daily basis that help us as we go into this new fiscal year. So we do have 8 new buses. We're hoping that with the coming sometime this summer, with the newer fleet, we hope that minimizes our maintenance costs. Another big expense. So, any questions regarding that? Happy to answer any questions and how we look to manage it, and what we're doing on a regular basis to make sure we're out ahead of this instead of being reactive.
Do you have any concerns about the stock market being down like it has been?
Do I have concerns? Sure, there's always concerns. That has a less impact on our day-to-day, weekly, monthly financial situation. Where the stock market has a bigger impact is with that financial situation, what we have seen is corporate giving has kind of frozen up. As corporations, the uncertainty of what's going on, what they've done is they've tended to hold on to their cash a little bit more because that's what they can control. So corporate giving to nonprofits has kind of frozen up a little bit. And that's probably the biggest impact to us. We are also well aware of what the potential tariff challenges are, because that has a direct impact on the price and the parts for our buses and the potential continued increased price of our buses. But as far as just the stock market in general, that has a large impact on us individually, those of you that have 401k, 403bs, and those type of things, and how it impacts that. But it doesn't have a real direct impact on our financial situation. A great question.
I got one. Is this gonna affect the clients? I don't know if they paid the federal funding not being there. Is that gonna affect that?
So, no, one of the things that's great about what we do is we save our partner organizations significant amounts of money from them having to outsource transportation to someone else. The concern for the people we serve in more difficult economic times, they tend to be some of the first people that are let go from their jobs. And that's always a concern of ours too, because, you know, working means so much to the people we serve. But as far as their reliance on us, I think that increases. And it probably increases other people looking to new tracks to do additional transportation, because we are a very cost-effective way for people to get seniors, people with disabilities, school students to transport. Anything else? Great questions. And I'm sorry, I didn't repeat Thomas's question. Those of that may not have heard, he asked if it impacts our clients, our partners, our riders, and how it impacts them.
Yeah, about the federal funding. Do they pay a percentage of this? And then is it through the federal funding that's not gonna be there anymore?
So the federal funding, again, our partner organizations, Merit, PAI, Northeast, MSS, the funding for the services they provide is Medicaid funding. Okay? There's been no broad decisions on what is happening with Medicaid funding yet. There's been suggestions that it may be in trouble. Okay? With that Medicaid, it's 50% state and 50% federal. So if there's cuts, it's cuts to that 50% federal portion currently. We don't know what that means. There's been indications or thoughts that it could be coming in block grants to the states, which again is a long, complicated way of funding being done differently. Whether disability services are high on that list or low on that list, we don't know. And if it goes to states and block grants, then the state makes decisions on how those funds are spent. So I'm sorry there's not more answers. We'll continue updating you as more comes up. We should know a little bit more after the state's budget is passed. Kevin, you know all too well all that happens down in the Capitol. And you may think something's happening during the session, and then at the 12th hour, right before something gets passed, it all gets changed, right? So right now it's just speculation. But our partner organizations are preparing themselves with the reality that there will be some type of cuts. Yeah, Bob.
Mike, would the budget have an impact on the community shopping loops as well?
With what would it have?
On the community shopping loops?
The community shopping groups, great question. The community shopping loops are currently funded through a variety of places. Some of the municipalities help fund them, and then we get grants from the state, Live Well at Home, and federal funds from Trellis that helps us with the community shopping booths. I do not anticipate the Little at Home grants funding will be changed, is that state? The trellis, that is a little bit more up in the air, and we get about $40,000 a year through trellis to help fund some of that. So, our current grant cycle, we've been told is safe, but whether there'll be funds for the next grant cycle, we will know. Great question. All right, I think food should be out here in a second. Oh, the training's done. I thought the training was done. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate that. We do mechanics. You guys are welcome to go back to the shop. We're just going to do some wheelchair training. So thank you guys for joining us. Yep, we have some. Yeah, so I'm going to pass it over to Reedy. If you need to stand up and stretch for just a second, feel free to do so. And we're going to switch over into training. Thank you, Reedy.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Little bunny rabbit in my face. Okay, now I know y'all have had a million times tied down a wheelchair, and so we're not going to really focus on wheelchairs today. We are going to focus on scooters, which are becoming very a lot. Out in the community. My mom's rolling over in her grave right now, former teacher. Scooters, as we've been watching the videos and such, we've just been seeing more and more scooters popping up on the buses. And it's always been a question, whether riders can stay on the scooters while we drive, or do they need to transfer into a seat? The question, or the answer to that, is if it is a three-wheeled scooter, then we need to have them transfer into a seat, because scooters are very unsteady, especially if you've just got one wheel in the front and then the two in the back. So definitely recommend or say, hey, I'm sorry, three-wheel scooters, if you can please transfer into a seat, that would be great. It's for your own safety. We highly recommend it. Four-wheel scooters, been seeing a lot of those here too lately. And four-wheel scooters are a little different because they do have the four wheels. Granted, they are small wheels, so it's still a little bit, can be a little bit tippy on top. And again, I would love, there's ADA and MnDOT, they have no regulations that people need to sit in the seat, but we highly recommend it, they highly recommend it, that you tell people in four-wheel scooters, hey, for your own safety, we really would like you to move into a seat, transfer into a seat. It's not regulatory. We can't make them go into a seat, but if we can highly recommend it, that's the key right there. So when you're bringing on scooters onto the bus, now you guys all know how hard it is to back up an electric wheelchair onto the lift, right? Which we should be doing. If you have an electric wheelchair, absolutely should be coming onto the lift backwards. Scooters, again, they're a little bit different animal because they're hard to drive. So scooters only can drive straight onto the lift, okay? So if you have electric wheelchairs and scooters, those wheelchairs are still coming on backwards, but scooters are authorized to be able to come on straight on. And then the riders can drive them onto the bus. It's easier for them to maneuver those scooters rather than us try to, get them into the spot they're supposed to be. when you guys have a bus load of scooters, and all of a sudden you get to your spot where you're unloading, it's kind of a, all right, get me unhooked, I gotta go shopping, I gotta get my groceries, I gotta do this and this and this. And it can be quite a little bumper show, as I call it. So I want you guys to really be aware that you need to instruct those scooters. Okay, George, it's your turn to come onto this. Can you guys just please wait here until it's your turn to get onto the lift? Otherwise, they're like going all over the place. Who's going to be first to get off? You know, go get my groceries. It can be a little chaotic. When that lift is going up and down, it would be very easy for them to just drive right off that lift, which is what we're trying to avoid, definitely. So just, I mean, you can still be down on the ground, running the lift up and down, but be aware that you can stick your head in, okay, George, you can come on up, I'm ready for you, and just call them one by one so they're not trying to run into each other and hitting the forward button instead of the backward button, and boom, there they go. When they are on the lift, it's the same as a wheelchair. Have them hold on to the sides of the lift for safety, okay? Going up and down on the lift. Okay, those are the differences between wheelchairs and scooters. Now, I got a video show you how to tie down a scooter. They're again different animal and they're very tippy. So I'm going to have you watch this video and then we're going to kind of go over a little bit here.
Scooter, we're going to secure it slightly differently than we do with a wheelchair. So on the front side, we're actually going to bring the retractors more towards the middle, so they're closer together because we've got just the one wheel here that we're going to secure around. And then we're actually going to, as opposed to on a wheelchair where we're going to go parallel to the wheels of the back, on the back side, we're actually going to flare it out. And so the retractors on the front side of a scooter are going to go more together than they are on the back side of the scooter. We want these much closer together. So on a wheelchair, these will typically be flared out over here, but on a scooter, they're going to be much closer together. On the back side of the three-wheeled scooter, we're going to want to put the retractors out a little further. So we want to have these slightly angled on the outside of the wheelbase. So you'll see that one right there, it's on the outside, and same case on this side, we're going to want to pull that all the way across. When those retractors are in place, this particular three-wheeled scooter is actually going to be slightly more difficult to secure. And so what we're going to use are our web straps right here. And with this web strap, we can actually get into some areas where we wouldn't be able to before. And so we're able to get in underneath the base of this particular scooter, right there, with our other web strap. Do the same thing on the other side. And then your retractors will hook up very nicely to that web loop right there. And same way on the other side. And then you'll use your web loop right here to go around the base of the frame on this side. And on this side. Now you're going to run into the problem where you don't have quite enough room to be able to get this secured down because we've got quite a bit of slack here. So in this situation, we'll have the passenger will actually go in reverse just a little bit. Oops, there we go. And you'll hear it click a little bit. That way we've got enough there to be able to get these secured down. And we're going to crank those down. And then we can crank down the front side as well. And then they aren't going anywhere. Nice and secure.
So, Mike, can you run it so that it shows just the scooter? Otherwise, if you guys saw my little demonstration of how to drive a scooter, you'd laugh at me. I just want the very beginning where it shows the scooter in place there. Right there. Okay.
Hi, we need it back at your desk.
Hi. Oh, sorry. No. All right, so now you see you have a scooter. So you're going to be using these blue straps to tie down your scooter, okay? You're going to, along some of the scooters, there are little attachments, you know, like we see on some of our wheelchairs to right where you should put those tie downs on. But scooters are probably going to be way different. You're going to need to use them for the backs here, and you're going to want to attach them to like the post that the seat sits on. Okay? Also, in the front, this front post that comes up where the one wheel is, you're also going to want to try to put that as far down around that front post as possible. And you're going to put it on so it's, hold your hand up like this there. So you're going to put it around that post so you have these loops here, and then you're just going to hook your tie downs onto these loops, okay? Sometimes you might, so you might have to use a couple of them, depending on what the scooter looks like. Yes, Warren.
Say, why couldn't you just take those two things and just bring them up and hook them with the hooks and do that instead? Wouldn't that be a lot simpler?
Do what two things? I'm sorry.
Take the hooks, they're naturally hooked, just hook them together like that, and then tighten them up. Would that be a lot simpler?
It might damage the scooter. You want to be careful with that too. These are a little bit softer. You don't want to scratch up their scooters. People get pretty, you know how they are with their wheelchairs, right? I get where you're coming from, Warren. Yeah, that'd be easy, but you just want to be careful so you're not going to damage their scooter too. Angie, can you come sit for me? So I've got this wheelchair all up. You can, thank you. So we all remember how to put these on, right? I got my 4 tie downs on here. I'm going to put my seatbelt on. Okay? And then we're going to bring this around. All right, and come around here. And again, we want to try to get it as close to their body as possible, right? We wanted to get it down across their hip. What I'm seeing a lot of in some of the videos that I've been looking at is that drivers are bringing this, and they're bringing it all the way around, and they're bringing it around like this. Okay? What is that shoulder belt doing? It's doing nothing.
Are the drivers doing that, or are the clients doing
The drivers are doing it.
it? Got clients that do that.
And I know that some of the riders do not like to have that on them. You guys need to put that on correctly first off. And if the rider wants to fix it, that's their thing. But don't initially put this on around here like this. Okay? This shoulder strap should not be behind the client, behind the wheelchair. It does no good there. Okay? So if you're worried about having this, well, this is coming up too close to them. You can always move your buckle over a little bit so that it's more, this buckle should be in the middle by their belly button anyway. It should be way over here so it's strangling them. Also remember we have those seatbelt things that you can put on there to help hold this together so it's off their neck. Okay? But I've been seeing a lot of that strap behind. That is not, that's not good. Don't, please do not do that. Okay? Thank you. All right. So, in review, three-wheel scooters, they should be moving into a seat. Four-wheel scooters, you can recommend very highly that they move into a seat. We can't make them go into a seat, but please recommend it and explain to them it's for their safety, that we want to make sure that they don't, you know, get hurt while in transit. Okay? This smells good, but I just have a few extra mentions. Two more, sorry. Another thing I've been noticing on videos, and I know we talked about this last month, which kind of is stabbing me in the back a little bit. Please wait until your people sit down in their seats and have their seatbelt on before you start continuing on your route. Okay? We're still seeing a lot of people where they're not even sitting down yet and the bus is taking off. I get that you guys are on a schedule, I get it, but we can't have that. And then the last thing I'm going to complain about is coming to complete stops. Stop signs, railroad tracks. A complete stop is when you come to a stop and your bus actually comes back a little bit. Red lights, I know red lights, you can turn right on red. That doesn't mean that you don't have to stop at that red light first before you make that turn. Okay? Please, please, make sure you're stopping. Okay? All right, any questions?
Yes.
Yes, Dale.
It's always a problem with three-wheelers.
Yeah.
Due to the directors, the program directors at the facilities, they know what the rules are, that they should be transferred to a seat.
Mm-hmm. Are you asking me, do they know?
Do they know?
Yes, we do. We do tell them that when we do tell them that that they should be, scooter riders should be moving into their seats. So
They should or they must?
well, I'm hoping they do. I can't be there when they're explaining to them.
Positions as well. So while
Oh,
we do communicate those things, Dale, but I think with the turnover in those positions, maybe that gets missed. And it's a lot of work to kind of keep on reminding, but.
and we do keep reminding them. I know Scott does when he talks to them. And if it's a problem and you guys see it on your buses, please let us know so that we can give them a friendly reminder that this is what our policy is.
One other question.
Yep.
I object to what that guy in the video said in the front on the three-wheeler, put them close together. No, you want them as far as possible, keeping the tip up.
I agree.
That to me was.
Yes, this was made a while ago, a few years back. I think revised, you should in the front have them flared up.
As far as you
Good
get,
job.
then you can stabilize the front end with one wheel.
Right, and you can make that, remember we want those 4 points coming up off the corners of the wheelchairs and the scooters. Yep, I agree.
You get them close together.
Yep, it's more tippy.
Very good,
Well, and in that video, those were the old track systems which we don't have in our buses, so
Yeah, it's kind of nice with our pucks. That allows us to do that a little bit better than those tracks did too. Okay, are you guys hungry? Oh, Dorothy?
You're gonna have to verify on how many scooters are gonna be going, if we have enough.
Yep, yeah, absolutely. Do you guys need more straps?